Imagine a traffic jam so massive it cost the US economy billions. But this wasn't on a highway, it was in a warehouse, and it wasn't an accident. It was a carefully designed strategy by Goldman Sachs, a bank that figured out how to profit by literally owning the weight. The world was still recovering from the financial crisis. Goldman Sachs made a curious purchase. Not a hot tech startup, not a trading firm. They bought Metro International, a network of aluminum warehouses in Detroit, for $550 million. Why would a white shoe investment bank want to store industrial metal? The answer wasn't the aluminum, it was the system governing it. See, the global metals market is regulated by the London Metal Exchange. To prevent hoarding, the LME had a simple rule. Warehouses must ship out a minimum amount of metal every day. On paper, steady flow from storage to factories. But Goldman spotted a loophole wide enough to drive a fleet of trucks through. Instead of shipping aluminum to manufacturers who desperately needed it, they just shuffled it. A truck would pick up metal from one Goldman warehouse and drive it to another Goldman warehouse, sometimes just down the road. Senate investigators gave it a name, the merry-go-round. The metal never entered the open market. But because it technically moved, it satisfied the LME's rules. Goldman kept hundreds of thousands of tons locked in its system, collecting daily rent the entire time. Before the acquisition, the average wait was 6 weeks. After, over 16 months. This created a phantom shortage, metal sitting right there in Detroit, effectively inaccessible. The regional premium, the cost of transport and handling, shot up. Coca-Cola, Miller Coors, Ford, all paying inflated prices for a metal that wasn't actually scarce. The estimated cost to American companies and consumers, over $5 billion between 2010 and 2013. Companies caught on. The New York Times investigated. The US Senate launched a formal inquiry. Their 2014 report laid it out in damning detail. Goldman was not merely storing aluminum for clients. The report stated that after acquiring Metro, Goldman accumulated large aluminum holdings of its own and was simultaneously involved in substantial aluminum trading activities. Facing intense pressure, Goldman sold the warehouse business in 2014. The LME eventually reformed its rules. And Goldman? Most lawsuits were dismissed. They settled with the remaining plaintiffs in 2022 without admitting wrongdoing.